Hi guys, thanks for joining me again on Dalisa's Sports Show, the weekend preview, week 3 Premier League matches over this weekend. I'm going to have a very busy Saturday, so I'll mostly be on my TikTok. Please do not forget to go find me on there if you're on TikTok at Dalisa's Sports Show. Right, I think the most interesting game is going to be the Manchester United game at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Well, the early game is Chelsea versus Fulham, but Man U take on Burnley. We've all seen what Man U have been doing to themselves over the last few weeks, last season as well, finishing 15th. I genuinely hoped and thought that Manchester United had found a solution to their issues, but they're nowhere near finding them, I think. Amorim, I think, sort of reflected that loss to Burnley in the EFL Cup, isn't it? He sort of said, he hinted that maybe the players do not like playing the way he's taking them or making them play. When I look at Manchester United's lineup, the back three thing, it isn't convincing. You know, I look at it and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. But, you know, for me, I wouldn't feel safe. I do like the safety, like Arsenal's team have got a back four. I like the safety of knowing I've got fullbacks, I've got two central defenders, and then you can do anything you want with your midfield and your forwards and change it about the way Liverpool do it. A back three is ridiculous. He's going to get eaten alive in the Premier League if he continues on this path. So anyway, Manchester United versus Burnley. Let's see the head-to-head. Let's see. I think I did look at the head-to-head earlier. And Manchester United, their last game in 2024, it was a draw, 1-1. Manchester United beat them the previous, well, in 2023, same season, obviously 2023-2024. And Man U beat them away from home in Burnley 1-0. And then other Premier League matches in 2021-2022, it was a draw at Burnley and a win for Man U at Old Trafford. So yeah, that's sort of like the theme. What I've seen the last few years is it's always been narrow. We did see Brad Mbeumo. Yeah, so they scored against Fulham, but it's Mbeumo's first goal. So this is the second goal that they've scored in this in this season. So we have seen how much they're struggling, and I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. The fans want him gone. They are really considering Amorim to go. You cannot blame the side, I think, because they have brought in some new players, some new forwards, but I think there's probably a tactical mismatch with the manager. You know, he's got players who didn't want to play. They've got terrible goalkeepers, Onana and the other guy who was in goal against Arsenal, Bayinda. Terrible. They can't catch balls that have been crossed in. They can't defend against corners or keep against corners. Really struggling. They've got other issues as well in the team. But I think Manchester United really, or the manager Amorim needs to really look at his approach. That three at the back is pathetic. It just won't work in the Premier League in the long run. Let me see how they lined up against Fulham again so I can tell you. So possible lineups here for the match. Well, the Bayinda in goal, definitely better than Onana in my opinion. Definitely better than Onana, only because of the negativity around the stadium, around the players and the fans if they start Onana, because it's been that bad. They reckon Delete Euro Show will be the defense. I don't like this system because look at where Amad Diallo is. Amad Diallo would do so much better in a back four and a four midfield system. Literally, because now what they're expecting him to do is expecting him to be working too hard to defend as well as encourage and transition into attack. A team that's already losing and struggling, I think that's a bit too much to ask for. They'll burn out much quicker and it's not going to benefit the team in the long run. Same with Patrick Dogu. The guy ran like a dog the other night. It was really bad to see. Poor Bruno Fernandes. He probably needs to be playing further up. than he's being forced to do. Basically, Amorim is expecting everyone to do a lot of defending, and it's costing them up front. To be honest, I like the way they are set up front. I think in a better managed back four, with a back four and even a 3-3, they would be so much more successful. But yeah, 4-4-2 would even be better. Make Cunha sort of be on the wing, put Brian Buemo just behind Sesko, get Fernandes to move forward. Let's see I can't see anyone. I can't see the people on the bench to see who else can go to support in midfield instead of just Casemiro. No, Casemiro centre-back doesn't make sense either. I definitely need to have some more input from a Manchester United fan to see who would probably be like the two, a centre-back pairing that would make sense. He needs to go back to basics. Basics in football when you're struggling is 4-4-2. 4-4-1-1. That would work as well, but yeah, they're gonna struggle. If he loses this, if Amorim loses to Burnley at home, he is cooked. He is cooked. Everyone would be wanting him to be sacked, but they need to hold firm. Hopefully hopefully he's got some good ideas. Otherwise, he'll be going to the scrap heap. Then they'll be looking for other options. But he's got some good players in there. There's no reason for him to be drawing and looking so poorly against teams like Grimsby. So maybe he took something away from that match. So the other match we've got is Chelsea versus Fulham, which is an early kickoff on the Saturday. This one, I think Chelsea should win it. They've had some close encounters recently. Oh, sorry. Let me just have a look at Fulham's head-to-head with Chelsea. So Chelsea will be at Stamford Bridge. Let's have a look head-to-head. The wins are narrow. So, yeah, last season, Fulham beat Chelsea at Craven Cottage. The season before, Chelsea beat Fulham home and away. Fulham, after watching them against Man U, they were pretty decent. They should still be decent, but I still think Chelsea's team is strong. So either a Chelsea win or a draw for me. Fulham, I'm not sure about the attack line. I mean, I did see there were some good performances there. But yeah, I think Chelsea are going to win. I think they're going to be much stronger this season than they were last season, although they did finish really well in the end, but the beginning wasn't so great. Let me see. I think Cole Palmer was injured for that match, their last match. So that could be an issue for them. But they do have this João Pedro guy, the new number 9. They shouldn't struggle to match. Caicedo as well did really well. He's one of those, he's coming into his own, understanding the position he's expected to play, and it was pretty impressive. Let me see. Let me just go in. I'm now interested to see what the possible lineup is going to be. Oh, okay. João Pedro. So Liam Delapa's number 9. He wasn't very good in their last game. Not that he was bad. He just didn't do anything well worth noticing. He was all right. Pedro Neto, I love this guy. I love so many of the Chelsea players. They're really strong players. The type of players I like to watch. So Pedro Neto, Enzo Fernandez, one of those players I like to watch. Now this Estevao Willian came on as a replacement for Cole Palmer, and he was shiny. Like a player comes on and you can see that this guy has got a spark. So if he starts, I don't think they'll be complaining much. Cucurella, another one of those players who's just running. He runs non-stop and is a very impressive player. In terms of Fulham, let me not ignore Fulham. Iwobi, Munoz, Tete was really good. Bassi was decent. Ryan Sessegnon, he's a professional. He's a pro, this guy. So it's going to be a challenging game for Chelsea, but I still think they've got enough there to come away with the win. So yeah, Chelsea win or a draw. The other fixtures, you've got Sunderland versus Brentford. Sunderland have been okay. They've got one of my favorite players in the world ever. Xhaka, who used to be captain for Arsenal, really loved him at Arsenal. One of those players with a lot of character. So we'll see how he does there. I can't really give you a scoreline for that because I just don't know enough about Sunderland this season. See how they do. Tottenham Hotspur, Bournemouth. I reckon Thomas Frank's men will do the job against Areola. I watched Bournemouth against Liverpool. They really did well for the majority of the game, really fought. But in the end, they just didn't have the discipline and the composure to sort of keep in the game. They became a bit reckless, ended up losing 4-2. And if they had just been more organized and more deliberate and intentional, they would have been able to actually get a draw out of that match. But I think they're a bit still naive. Wolverhampton versus Everton. Everton were really good in the last match I saw. They've got Jack Grealish in the sides. Jack Grealish has really, I think, found sort of his level. At Man City, he had, especially last season, the few games I saw him in, he looked really out of it, not like a happy chappy. So hopefully in this team with David Moyes, he'll be able to showcase the kind of player he is, and he'll be trying to prove himself, obviously, just to show that he wasn't a complete failure in Manchester. Late match will be Leeds United versus Newcastle. Leeds United got demolished by Arsenal 5-0 over the last weekend. And you've got Newcastle United, who lost to Liverpool in a thrilling match, 3-2. They dominated, but in the end, Liverpool just, these guys, Liverpool, I don't know what they've got. It's something that they've got you can't explain. But if you win like they won against Newcastle, you go away thinking, yeah, we are the chosen ones, isn't it? But yeah, Newcastle are who's going to win? Newcastle Leeds. I'll go for Newcastle. I know it's away from home, but I think Newcastle will be too strong for the new guys, but anything can happen. But yeah, I'm going for Newcastle win. If I get surprised, so be it. Sunday matches, we've got Brighton versus Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's men were shocked, I think. Oh, what game were they playing the other day? Give me a second. Let me see. Let me just check what Man City did the other day. Oh yeah, they got beaten by Tottenham Hotspurs 2-0. Hilarious. But they do struggle with Tottenham. They always struggled, and I did say they might win, but yeah, no. After beating Wolves the previous match in week 1, 4-0, they went and lost to Tottenham Hotspurs 2-0, and they looked absolutely atrocious, I must say. Pep, I like Pep. Harmless guy, except of course for the last few years he's been playing. He's had a huge advantage over everyone else who has been following the financial rules. Him and his team haven't had to. They're now probably having to look a lot more at what they're spending and stuff. They do have Haaland up front. They've got some new guys in there, but they don't look as good as they've looked before. Let's see if Pep is going to manage to rebuild a team from a winning team. Let's see if he can rebuild, but so far it doesn't look great. Previously in March, Brighton, they drew with Brighton in Manchester, and then Brighton beat Manchester City in Brighton. Ooh, okay, interesting. So yeah, this could be a draw for Manchester City again. They are playing away from home, very challenging. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it could be a draw. Let me go for a draw just so that whatever. Newcastle Forest versus West Ham United. West Ham haven't been exactly amazing, have they? I'm going to not take too much time on this. There's some issues at Nottingham Forest with Nuno and the owners. He put sort of I think hopefully they've resolved them. I think they had a big bust up with the owners as well as the Edu, who's the sporting director. But he came out in the last game. They got a draw, I think, and they looked, like any rumors that came out were sort of resolved. So Nottingham Forest beat Brentford in week 1, 3-1, and then they drew against Crystal Palace over the weekend. So I'm sure they'll be looking to get 3 points against West Ham United at home. I'm going to go for a Nottingham Forest win. I'm going to go for a Nottingham Forest win. Score margin 3-1 again, or 2-1. It will be narrow. West Ham are looking terrible at the moment. Let me see what they've been doing the last few games. Yeah, they lost through. Okay, yeah, they lost 3-0 to Sunderland. They lost 5-1 to Chelsea. They lost 3-2 to Wolves. They're not having a great time at all. They're not having a great time at all at the moment. So I am going to go for Nottingham Forest to continue that run for West Ham because I just can't see them. They look really vulnerable at the moment. Tell me what you think is going to happen over the weekend as well while I'm here. And then, of course, we've got the big match, probably the biggest match of the season between Liverpool and Arsenal. This match is the match that is going to sort of give us a view into how Arsenal's changes have made a difference. Arsenal and Liverpool shared the points all of last season. So 2-2 at Anfield, 2-2 at the Emirates. This season is going to be important. Let's see if Arsenal will be disciplined because they got a player sent off. Let's see what is going to happen. Arsenal need to win this to show that they are the guys. Not just a good performance will not be enough to show that we are in the big boys club, because we've had a lot of excuses over the years. Some excuses have been legitimate, in my opinion. We had the injuries, but now we've got a centre forward. We've got a midfield to talk about. We've got a back four, which is pretty decent. We've got replacements, everything. So there's no excuses. Whereas Liverpool are great, but they are going to be missing McAllister. Apparently is injured. Gravenberch came in, but they didn't seem like a cohesive force against Newcastle. In fact, they struggled so much against Newcastle. They won because they're the champions and they've got what it takes to win, even when they go through struggles. But Arsenal will have to put in extra effort to win. I'm going to go for Arsenal to beat Liverpool, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 prediction. Arsenal to beat Liverpool 3-1. Let me know what you think. And yeah, so thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you guys soon. Find me on TikTok at Daliso Sports Show, and then we can continue the chat over there, especially over the weekend. Right, guys? Thank you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.